All right, dog fans, it's the Dogcast, episode number 597. No pre-roll music, no ads this week. It's just me and Jamie. Jamie's in the bunker. I'm out on the road on assignment. That's why this show is a little janky, but we're here and we're bringing you Bulldog football news. It's a big game this week, 3:30, Jamie, against Auburn on CBS. It's the Deep South's oldest rivalry. 126th meeting. I remember, what, long ago when this thing was like, dead even, points for, points against were dead even. The teams were like evenly matched over like 120 years. But, after beating them 13 of 16 years, and the only times they've beaten us, the Prayer and Jordan Hare, the Cam Newton year. I mean, it seems like the only times they've beaten us in the last 16 years was essentially a miracle, right?
Right.
So this year, we go into Jordan Hare. It's our first time against a really full house, raucous crowd that's uniformly aligned against us. What are you thinking about as we go into Jordan Hare this weekend?
Well, I want to rewind just a little bit. You nailed everything on the intro. No fancy music, none of that.
I can't help it.
However, you said no ads. Oh, I'm going to tell you all about Prize Picks, just not yet.
I guess what I meant was no pre-roll ads, right?
Right.
We're not trying to get you to go to Chili's for margaritas, but we're always trying to get you to do Prize Picks, promo code DOGCAST.
Right, and we'll tell you about that in a minute, but we're going to talk about our trip to, and they'll correct us on this, to Jordan Hare is how it's supposed to be pronounced by the war plainsmen or whoever they may be today. Yeah, so hey guys, we're on our way to a full house, and that's their biggest advantage this week, in my opinion. I think in every phase of the football game, we're far superior. They have the crowd. We're not going to take it over. So if you guys are thinking, oh, we're about to walk in here and it's going to be 50% Georgia fans or 40% Georgia fans or even 30% Georgia fans, that's just not the case. They're going to be loud. They're going to be proud. And if we do what we're supposed to do, this will last for about 14 game minutes.
I was actually going to go with 15 game minutes, but I like your call of 14.
No, absolutely. And that's what they get. They get, a little while to be enthusiastic. But look, I think we lead the nation in first quarter scoring. And this week is not going to be any different unless they can find a way to make it different. And based on what I've seen, they can't do that. I mean, they don't have a way to stop us. Their D-line isn't great. I mean, it's probably going to be the most physical D-line we've seen since Clemson, but
they're decent against the run. But, they were pretty damn leaky against Georgia State. They did hold LSU to only 33 yards rushing. Are you not worried at all about that rushing defense on Auburn?
As it relates to whether or not we win this game, no. Are we going to run up a huge box score on the ground? Maybe not. But, that's not what we have to do.
Yeah, UAB tried that stacking the box thing against Stetson Bennett. How did that work out for him?
Yeah, it didn't. And that's what I think Kirby said in his post game. He's like, there are things that you can do to prevent things from happening, but it could cost you in other areas. This is, if they do it too much, Brock Bowers is going to have free release to the middle of the field, and he's just going to be doing what he does.
He's going to eat is what he's going to do.
That's a fact.
Now, Auburn does have two pretty damn good coordinators. Brian Harsin, who I'm not very impressed with as a head coach, did one good thing in hiring Mike Bobo and Derek Mason. Derek Mason knows about how to run a defense, but, like you said, pick your poison. You could try to stuff Zamir, try to stuff Kendall Milton, try to damn bottle up James Cook. But if you do that, like you said, McConkey, Bowers, Burton, they're going to hurt you over the top and behind.
Right. And Stetson, I mean, that's one thing. If nothing else, we know Stetson can hit a wide open target as good as anybody. I mean, you
And
can.
he ain't afraid to throw it.
He is not. So I mean, and that's what I look for us to do. I mean, I look for us to see how. I mean, unless they change it up on defense. I mean, if I were a team as talented as an SEC team not named Vanderbilt, I probably wouldn't allow Georgia to beat me through the air. Similar to Arkansas, I would go with more of an Arkansas approach than Auburn approach than what I think Auburn's going to do. There's no way I'd let you because you can just score too fast. I mean, and we've shown that given the opportunity, we can put 35 points up in the first quarter.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Jamie, but you're saying you'd try the Arkansas approach, which also didn't work. I mean, we only put up 28 in the first quarter against Arkansas, versus the 35 that we did versus Vanderbilt. I mean, shit. I mean, UAB, Vanderbilt, and Arkansas have all tried dramatically different strategies, and they've all failed equally badly.
Yes, they've all failed equally as bad. And I seen a stat today that's I think I said our last two games, we've outscored our opponents 99-0.
Yeah. And so if we flip over to the other side of the ball, which I think, I mean, everybody agrees is the most exciting part of Georgia football right now. To me, conversation about this game starts and stops with Bo Nix, right? I mean, we're ready. If you were follow us on Instagram, if you follow us on Twitter, you saw I put up those assholes are already making T-shirts of the Bo Nix experience with the diagram of that crazy ass play that he threw to Jake Fromm's little brother last week. He had one play that worked out for him. He's barely at 50% completion rate on the season. And they didn't think much of the Bo Nix experience against Georgia State or, hell, even Akron, right? He got benched the week before LSU. And to a man, if you talk to any Auburn fan, they were excited about Bo Nix getting benched.
They were excited. I mean, they were
that
over
was a positive development.
Absolutely. They've been over Bo Nix for a while, but that just shows you how intelligent Auburn fans are. They don't want them. They don't want them. They don't want them. And they beat LSU, and now they're branding T-shirts behind them.
Holy shit, it's the Bo Nix experience.
Yeah. Well, this experience is going to be a bad one for him.
He's never beaten Georgia. He's been a Heisman candidate every year, and every year he's a total failure. I actually think, and we put this on the Discord channel the other day, I think his success against LSU is exactly what Auburn really didn't need to happen. That success against LSU is going to set him up for a greater fall and a more punishing failure against Georgia's defense this weekend. A little hubris on Bo Nix's part hurts him more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. And guys, I mean, their O-line is very bad. I mean, it's not good at all. Thankfully for them, they have quarterbacks that can move. But this is going to be, and it might be the only team in the nation, but it's going to be the only team they face this year that can get after the quarterback the way that we can. There's not a safe way to go, left, right, or up the middle. I mean, it's pretty much covered at all times unless you trick us. And speaking of that, that's exactly what I expect them to do. I expect trick plays early. Anything they can do to try to get on the board is what they're going to do.
That is a good point. Harsin, somebody's going to score on this defense, and they want it to be them. I would expect reverses, flea flickers, a lot of misdirection, a lot of eye candy, as well as like actual misdirection. I think you're right. They need to score at whatever it takes. They need to put up a touchdown in the first quarter, and they know it, and they're going to try hard.
Yeah, a flicker, if I could learn to talk, or somebody passing the ball out of the Wildcat to Bo Nix going downfield, something. I mean, I if Prize Picks had a prop bet for that, I'd take it in the first quarter.
Also, you should be on the lookout. Fake punts, fourth down conversions. They are going to be hammered down because they have to be.
I mean,
Because
they
the
know.
Bo Nix experience isn't that great.
No, they know what they have. They know what we have. Yeah, there's just they've got to pull out all stops. This isn't something that they can't man up with us and think they can beat us. They know they can't. They know it. So the only way to do it is to find a way. And Auburn, hey, look, guys, Auburn gets, I mean, the golden horseshoe belongs to the Auburn Tigers. I mean,
Yeah,
if something's going to go one way or the other, it's going to go their way. But if we impose our will, they can get all the luck they need or want, and it's not going to be enough because we're just that much better.
good point. The golden horseshoe thing is real, no doubt about it. They've exercised it not just on us, but on lots of teams more than just about anybody else. They are more effective at generating damn miracles than any other team in the SEC, I think. But having said that, Bo Nix is not the second coming of Johnny Manziel. He's just not. Don't get focused on that one freaking play. Look at the 4 games where he sucked from kickoff to final gun. Don't get caught up on that one damn play where he pulled a little magic out of his ass. He's
No.
not all that. So, to that end, though, you made a good point about the trick plays and the fact that they are going to be hammered down from the get go. And so, really, my only key to the victory, besides what we're just normally going to do, just take care of business on defense and do what's available on offense, is turnovers. The main thing I don't want to see in this game are picks and fumbles. We've got to limit turnovers because we definitely don't need to give them extra possessions, whether we cough up a fumble or we overthrow and get a pick. Turnovers could hurt us in this game.
No, we can't afford turnovers. You can never afford turnovers, but you definitely can't do it in a game the magnitude of this one. It, it, we've got to win the turnover battle at least. We can't be negative in that aspect. Sometimes you can't. I mean, turnovers are going to happen on both sides of the ball, whether you want them to or not. They just happen. You just have to win the turnover margin, and we've got to do that in this game. And we've got to just stick to what we know and stick to what we do. We got to keep our eyes where they're supposed to be in the backfield. Why, like you said, watching the movement, watching the misdirection. Don't let them fool you because it's going to take some patience. It's not going to be a full blown bull rush. I mean, kind of like we did Clemson, just getting after the quarterback. I mean, we're going to have to be a little more patient, similar to what we saw at Arkansas. And look, we didn't have a problem getting to the quarterback that way. I mean,
No, and Jefferson's a pretty damn good runner as well, and you saw how that worked out for him. And I think Arkansas, that's a good point. I actually meant to talk about that earlier. Great point, Jamie. Arkansas, honestly, is a better team than Auburn in every phase. And you saw what happened, right? I just don't expect anything more out of Auburn than what we saw out of Arkansas. I don't think Auburn is better in any phase of the game than Arkansas is. I don't think their offensive line's as good. No way in hell Auburn's offensive line is better than Sam Pittman's offensive line.
they're not. They're not as good. They may be a little more physical on the D line, maybe, and their corners may be a little more athletic. They have a little more experience. I don't know. Arkansas's got a ton of experience. They got guys out there like 32 years old playing. So
New
no,
super seniors coming through for Sam this year.
I honestly, I would say talent wise, Auburn has several players that are more talented than the best players on Arkansas, 2 or 3. But as a team, I mean, they're pretty well equally balanced as far as the talent across the board. This new running back, since Tank's not been the guy's been splitting time with, is his name Harris or Hunter? Hunter. Last name is Hunter. 42 carries on the season, which isn't a ton. Still averaging over 10 yards a touch. So we got to watch for stuff like that. Their damage is done on the ground.
100%. I mean, hell, Bo Nix is their leading rusher. So the quarterback's their leading rusher, but, they do have some injuries, right? You were talking about that in the green room.
Yeah. Bo Nix, not trying to correct you, but Bo Nix is not their leading rusher this year.
He was the leading rusher last week, I think, maybe.
Yes,
maybe it was just last week.
Last week he was the leading rusher. But this Hunter kid's came out of nowhere, and he's now the leading rusher with 447 yards. Like I said, only 42 carries. But for instance, Tank Bigsby, which all you guys have heard of, a Georgia kid in Auburn, has been playing really good ball. 74 totes, 430 yards. This guy Hunter comes in when Tank's been a little banged up. 42 carries, 447 yards. So 17 additional yards to Tank and carrying it at twice the clip. I mean, almost 11, 10.6 a carry. So, I mean, the kid's dynamic. That's proven. But if there's one thing that we've shown, we don't give up much in the run game. I mean, you're not just going to come run it down our throats. I mean, I'm not going to get overconfident here because this is an SEC team with some very talented players on it. So I don't want to get cocky. But there's really not if we lose this game, we've done something fundamentally incorrect ourselves.
Right. We do need to avoid the rat poison, no doubt about it. But I do agree. And I don't want to say for a second that I'm less confident than I was last week, as I'm not. I totally think we're going to win. But last week, I guaranteed a cover. I think this week, we win by about the amount. I don't think we win by 37 points. I don't think it's going to be 37-0. I'm seeing this one being about a 2-touchdown win for Georgia. I think Auburn will score. Our scoreless thing will not hold up this week, but I think we dominate the second half to win by something like 14 to 20 points.
I like it in the 14 to 20 range as well. I think there is a chance for the cover. I know the line's moving. I think it's up to like 16.5 now, maybe a little more. So Vegas likes us to win. The money likes us to win, and we're going to win. Like I said, barring something fundamentally incorrect that we've brought upon ourselves. They can't line up, man up, and beat us one-on-one. Just isn't going to happen. But
did you see Bo Nix's quote about Jordan Davis?
No.
So they asked him what he thought about Jordan Davis, and he's like, yeah, he was totally nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, he's a good player. He's going to be a good draft pick for somebody. He's probably going to play on Sunday. I've played against guys like him before. I've seen guys like him before.
No,
and then he said, he goes, when a guy like that gets in my way, I just run around him. I swear to God, I can't even make this kind of stuff up, dude. He says, when a guy like Jordan Davis gets in my way, I just run around him.
Just run around him. I mean, you've got to cut 5 yards just to get around his wingspan.
Sounds awesome, Bo. Sounds great.
Yeah,
let's try that plan.
And right on the other side of him, Nakobe Dean.
Right. Oh my God, Anderson. Holy shit.
There's another one and another one and another one.
Right.
Yeah. So,
that plan's going to work.
Not trying to downplay the South's oldest rivalry, but I like us to win. I like us to win big.
We're going to take their lunch money. We're going to take their lunch money for sure.
In fact, I like us to do so well. My first prize picks bet of the week, I took Brock Bowers on a 4-pack here. I took Brock Bowers with over a half of reception touchdowns. So he's got to catch one for more than a half, which equals one or more. I like Jermaine Burton over 44.5 receiving yards. Think he's going to catch a couple good big ones. And then I took 2 Auburn players. Former Georgia wide receiver D-Rob under 47
Demetrius Robertson.
under 47.5 yards, and Tank Bigsby under 53.5.
I love
So
everything about that Prize Picks board.
that's a 4-pack that I've invested $50 on, and if I hit, that will pay me $500.
Oh, 10x on your money, baby. Only available at the official ad partner for the Dogcast. By the way, the most elite Georgia football podcast. You know, when we're talking about elite fans and elite teams, you got to talk about the elite podcast. I was talking to one of our oldest listeners this week, Drew from Athens, and he said there's only one Georgia football podcast that's truly elite. The oldest, the biggest, the best, the 100,000-watt flamethrower. And our official partner, Prize Picks, is doing some great things, man. We've had so much fun with them this season. If you guys download Prize Picks, the app, and you just use promo code DOGCAST, they're going to double your initial deposit up to $100. The minimum's only 20 though. If you put in 20 bucks and then we get a report, we're going to send you an email and let you choose how you want us to give you your 20 bucks back, either in an Amazon card or in a Venmo payment, or you can leave it with us and we're going to donate it to Michael Davenport. So you're going to have 3 options.
Yeah, so like a handful of listeners this week, you guys listening right now actually, have either emailed us, reached out to us on social media or in Discord, and was like, hey, just keep that 20 and or keep it for ourselves. And some have said donate it to Michael. And when they said donate it to Michael, I mean, a lot of what we do on this show is for Michael Davenport. So any money, if you don't want the Amazon gift card or the Venmo, anything we keep, that's donated to Michael.
Right.
We're donating that money to Michael Davenport. So totally up to you guys. Not trying to twist your arm, but I mean, it was a great gesture.
It is a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's just an option. We totally don't mind sending you the 20. If you want your 20, you can have it. But if you want us to do something with it, we'll do something with it. It's totally up to you guys. And by the way, to that end, I was talking, we're going to start the Davenport Christmas stuff a little earlier this year. So you guys should be, I mean, you can buy a Davenport from us at any time. I mean, we have inventory 365 days a year, man. Don't worry about that. So all you have to do, if you want to buy a Davenport today, and 100% of that money goes to Michael Davenport, you can buy a Davenport from us at any time. Just email us at dogcast@gmail.com. We sell Davenports 365 days a year, but we have this little Christmas thing that we do every year where we kind of push it, and we're going to do that a little earlier in the year, kind of like between Halloween and Thanksgiving. We're going to try to get ahead of it this year a little bit, beat the rush. Because it helps us with shipping and stuff. So we're going to be trying to do that a little bit earlier for Christmas. But anyway, Prize Picks, promo code DOGCAST. Try that 4-pack and get 10x on your money if you're smart like Jamie. We appreciate the support, guys. We were the number 2 football podcast on Prize Picks board, and we are crushing our goals thanks to you. And don't forget, at the end of the year, if we keep going, we're going to pick one listener who downloaded Prize Picks and gift them $1,000 cash.
But we got to hit that goal.
We got to keep up. Yeah, we got to keep going. But I'm telling you, right now we're tracking. Right now we're doing great. So if you haven't downloaded the app, check it out, Prize Picks, and use promo code DOGCAST. Get you an app. Get you a little deposit in there. And we'll take care of you guys on the back end. So we really appreciate you guys. And we're looking forward to an awesome weekend against Auburn on the Plains, playing against the Plainsmen and the Eagles and the Tigers. We're going to take on all 3 of them this weekend.
They're going to need all 3 of them this weekend.
Because, hey, If Jordan Davis gets in front of you, you just run around him.
That's all you got to do, man.
J.J. Jefferson's like, holy shit, is that all you got to do? I didn't even think of that. I mean, really, just run around him. That would be awesome. Luke Doty's like, what? Let me write that down. Run around Jordan Davis. Got it. Thanks,
yeah, don't run from him. He'll catch you.
Thanks, Bo Nix. That is the Bo Nix experience.
You got anything else, Derek?
I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm deep inside enemy territory right now. I think they're closing in on my position. So I'm about to fold up this laptop and move to a fresh, secure, safe house.
Dog fans, Derek mentioned the Elite podcast, and he wasn't wrong. We're definitely elite, but we're not half as elite as you guys. I mean, we can toot our own horn all the time, but every time we ring the bell, you guys show up, and we're thankful for that. So just know, when you lay that head down tonight, you are the most elite fans in the nation.
Damn right. And even though our sound quality is not exactly elite right now, we are still the oldest, the biggest, the best podcast out there. And we appreciate you guys. This show is by fans, for fans. Jamie is right on it. And by the way, for you guys, Jamie's been talking about it. He's been hitting it up on the Discord channel. Big tailgate next week on the quad, Myers Quad. Jamie's going to be throwing down something special. We're trying to get the Mean Machine to the tailgate. We're going to do something big. We want you guys to come out and see us, come out and say hey to us. Let's have an adult beverage, or maybe not an adult beverage if that's the way you roll. But either way, me and Jamie are going to throw down in Myers Quad for the Kentucky game. Homecoming next week. We want you guys to come see us. Come to the official Dogcast tailgate. It's going to be epic. So, dog fans, that's going to wrap it up for us. We appreciate you guys listening. Y'all are the best fans in the world. Beat the Barners. Go Dogs.